Low connection. Alright, here we go. Let's try this again. Good signal. Alright. Alright, without going into exact numbers, we do have a pretty sizable group out this evening. This is saying I have low connection, so if any of you get on, just type that you can hear me so I know that everything's working. We're positioning ourselves. Alright, we might go through connection, reconnection issues, but I'm going to hang on, and if it cuts out, whatever. We'll just keep going and stay live. What they're doing is we're positioning ourselves. I'm just going to say that we're north of a position in a certain area with a neighbor, rancher. We call them all ranchers. What the hell? Just protects everybody. So with a neighbor whose intel has been so smack on the money, it's been crazy, and so a sizable team is going in to gather evidence. Now, the other night we were watching hills. We had teams up, and they're using gray laser lights to signal down to the valley, and they were able to see how certain things were happening. And this is happening all over the southern border. Wherever they have high hills, you're going to have their scouts up on there. You're going to have them signaling down. And so what the teams have been doing is, for a while, they've been posting up on higher hills and getting some patterns established. And what we're doing now is we're planning on, well, we're not planning, we're going to push them out of this area. We're not going to let it happen here no more. While we're doing that, there's a couple other investigations that they're looking at out here of gathering intelligence, actual facts, not something that someone can say, oh, that's speculation. No. Every piece of item we have, whether it's the coyote trails where you guys see the evidence of their discarded backpacks, of their Mexican shoes, of their black jugs. I mean, we're not going around planting all that stuff ourselves. That stuff's coming up. You can see that not just from us. You can go to Arizona Border Recon or Arizona Defense or Border Defense, and just about any border group that has videos out there. You'll see the same trails that we have up here now. We are northwest of Tucson. That's a long way, and you know what's coming across the border has already infected itself all the way up through our state, and the corruption has come with it. And you know, so many in law enforcement are involved, paid off for, and you have so many good ones that are just there's no good and bad in every group. So we have a sizable unit out there. We're here just to watch the northern section and make sure that no one's flushing up this way, because if they do, we want them to see us. We want them to divert and move on, because that's basically what they're doing. Now, I know that there is like that one group, so don't send me messages about the 16-something locals with like 200-something Facebook trolls. I forget the group's name, and I'm not joking either. It's Citizens Against VOP or some shit. No one's coming around penetrating insecurity. We don't have any posted trespassing signs up. Anyone's welcome to come out and come see and go in searches with us. If you're coming in the afternoon, you only see 5 or 6 vehicles and maybe 4 or 5 people there. That's because the other dozen or more are out in the field doing the searches. They have to get those searches done every day, a minimum of 3 searches. Now, we've had so many, we're actually doing searches all day, which we did. We covered 3 areas today, and all right. Yeah, if we hold it up, it'll work. Check that out. So, once again, we don't care what the naysayers say. I mean, if you're sending me information and messages, I ask you for it to be drop pinpoints on areas you're seeing. I've got hundreds and hundreds of those, you know, so the volunteers are not allowed to sit around, stand around, not do anything. They have to go out there. They have to pound the sand. They have to set this perimeter up. We have to build this shield. We have to do this right, you know, and the only way to do it right is just to do it the exact opposite way of what everyone else is doing, basically, and to improvise and to have the ability to adapt and to learn and to evolve. So we don't overreact with security unless we have a security issue where we feel like we need to overreact. We put faith in God. We have trained combat veterans that are out here. We're going to post a link to the Aussie for all of our Aussie families out there, and then all of our families across the world in United Kingdom, France, Ireland. We love all you guys. For all you guys out there, when we do the night ops, this will kind of be your time to get caught up on what's going on. But the Australian team has been amazing. They're actually leading this operation, you know, and they're learning a lot, and they want to take all this back to Australia. All right. I'm not going to hold it. Well, I'll just hold it here for a minute, I guess. But they're doing great, and they uploaded videos. We've been letting them. They've been interviewing some of our combat veterans to get their perspective. We have vets that are here from California, has come all the way over from Florida. We've had quite a few people from Florida, Texas, West Virginia, Ohio, Illinois. Oh man, we got Australia. I know there's some people that are supposed to come down from France, Canada. We've just been tremendously blessed, and God's sending us everything we need each day. What we anticipate tonight is they got some pretty good cameras wherever they're at. I'll just let you know that it's been monitored for the past few days, so we pretty much are anticipating what to expect. We're looking for something else where we are, while at the same time trying to see if there's an escape route heading up this way. So does anybody have any questions? Oh, Mississippi. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hold this. Are there any questions? There's Canada's flag, Mississippi. Oh, we'll get sleep. We'll get sleep. Yeah, someday. Someday we'll get sleep. But we've got a great group of people. We're blessed. Our Colorado couple, our 70-year-old Colorado couple, our nurse and our friend, that they were awesome. They left today, and we miss them. But it was just amazing to see some of our elders come down and bear this heat. I know I probably mentioned this earlier, but my brain will repeat stuff continuously. That's how you know it's true. Keep repeating, freezing. Yes, this isn't a really good reception, so if the signal goes in and out, sorry. It's just don't have really choice. We are trying to give you guys as much sight as of what's going on the ground. So and if Vice is watching, there's kind of a vote, and I really I go with what the teams decide. So Vice, HBO Vice, it is a negative. You would have to do 7 full days, and that's what they're going to ask of you if you're going to come out and want to film. Other than that, you can come out and volunteer, but you can't come out and film or anything like that. Private property, not without our permission. Now, we do know someone else came back on this private property, you know, and filmed today, and they're trying to show, like, oh, no one's doing nothing. They actually showed you that all our teams were out while we got videos while we were out, and we got a bunch of pictures of everything that they've gotten up. So we appreciate them for doing that. Don't give those guys any mind. The fact is, they need a purpose, and their purpose appears to be to stop us from preventing the cartels from infesting this side of our border, our own backyards, with perverts, with drug mules, from pumping our own neighbors full of meth and heroin. Everything floods across this border. So they would rather stop us from going out to prevent that. So let them have that purpose. Look, they're building an altar to their Satan. That's all they're doing. That's it. Some of those guys don't want to be known about because they've been helping the cartels, and they're just telling you that's what it is. And they're angry. We have a lady who's been a source of ours, and she's been threatened. She's been threatened by an individual out here for helping us. And I've got screenshots of that, you know. And that individual, look, I could easily throw you on the bus and get everyone dissuaded and focused on you guys, but I just want to let you know it's not going to happen. And you can have your little purpose and follow us and do all your little things, but we don't care. We don't need your approval. We got more of your neighbors out here who want us here because of the good we're doing. And they're not dumb. We have a great reputation. So we're going to stay. Let's see. Alabama, how can you help? Well, if you can get out here, get out here. We know a lot of people are probably waiting for the summer to end, and that's cool. I got a lot of people that's got a month or two, and they're gonna get some stuff together, come down. But if you want to come down early, you can. But you know, we're gonna be able to do a lot of damage come when the weather cools down, because we're gonna be able to get a lot more people out. This is grueling stuff, guys. I mean, we're out here. We're not driving around in an air-conditioned truck screaming about Louis Prepper for an hour, making up a bunch of lies, or, you know, coming out for like 10 minutes to go through the bush. I see that video didn't have any the black jugs and the coyote trail and the human trafficking house were right next door. We've been taking people over there to see that, by the way. Yeah, it's come out. That's the best way, really, you can help and pray. You know, supplies, everything we need. We've been so blessed. All your supplies have been coming in. And, you know, remember, we're building 3 FOBs. So we're ready to actually start throwing up the second one and start breaking ground on it. That's in 1 hour, you got a FOB. And they already have power and water. So we'll be able to take care of a good group up there. And they're going to be locking down a certain section. And these FOBs are going to be manned 24/7. And they're going to be on private property. And no money's going to be taken. And everything that comes that we don't need, we don't hoard, because I know God's going to rain manna. It's right there. And if you really apply what it says, I mean, it's just a blueprint, guys. All you got to do is follow the blueprint in the Bible. He will rain manna down. We will have what we need each day. We don't need nothing more. Anything extra we get goes to Bravo Base and homeless vets. And when it goes to them, it goes to all the poor in Santa Rita Park and every homeless person that goes up to that camp, because everything's given away for free. And if they can't store it and they don't have extra room, they send it over to Veterans Rescue Mission, which is an area, a tiny home village that we're partnered with Veterans Rescue Mission. Look them up. They're throwing up tiny homes, and this is a transition for our homeless vets who've been chronically homeless for 10, 20, 30 years. It gets them ready to go into an apartment, and it's a good 6-month transition program ran by Pastor McLean. So 100% of everything you go is a blessing. And my wife and I, we're not going to form a nonprofit to be an official ministry recognized by anyone, because the people recognize us. And the people are the congregation and the ministry and all of our volunteers. And this room looks really good. So it's the people who authenticate us. And we're blessed. We're blessed. We have thousands, you know. And I remember when it was just a few hundred. But we have thousands. And because we have thousands, we can help so many more people. So we discourage anyone from actually, you don't have to send your money to any organization to come down here and do what we're doing. We'll do it for free. That's it. We'll do it for free. We care enough about the children that we don't expect you to pay for our flights or anything like that to come down here and put money in our personal pocket to do the job. No, 100% of material support goes to what needs to get done. We'll do it for free. You know, we don't want fancy hotel rooms. And remember, a lot of our guys that come down, they really can't handle the heat, so they do get hotel rooms, but they pay for that stuff out of their own. Our family hasn't had to. We have several families who have homes and rooms open up to them. We're blessed with the local business who will hire. If they're running into income issues, they can come and work, and they'll get $120 a day. That's money in their pocket, and they'll be working at a good, reputable business down there that partners with us at Bravo Base. So we're able to take care of people. So if they're worried, but the world pretty much takes care of what we want, and our neighbors do. I got pictures I'll show you, but we even had one of our family members' neighbors come out with homemade lasagna and garlic bread. I mean, it was really good lasagna too. So I mean, they really take care of us. And everything that's been coming is what's been needed. They did post that there's another supply list that's out, and that's just so you guys will continue to see these FOBs going up. Some stuff you're not going to be able to see, but you're more welcome to come down and see for yourself. You're more welcome to volunteer. You know, if you come with an agenda to try to stop us, well, we won't let you go out with us, you know, and we'll keep you out the property, and we'll trespass your ass, you know. If you come in stupid and we're at a security risk because we got a credible threat and you're sneaking up on the property, I'm going to tell you something. There are guys out here that aren't going to take a chance. They want to go home and see their own wife and kid. So don't come up here with no nonsense. All right, period. You know, simple as that. We don't want no one getting hurt, but we will stand our ground and we will protect. You know, we've got families that come out there. We got families that bring their kids out there during the day. You know, I mean, there's things that children can do. You know, there's people with horses. You can come out and go horseback ride and hit the trails. Bring your quads out. Bring your ATVs out. Bring your dirt bikes out. We got so many grids. All we want you to do is go and document and see whether we got fresh trails or old trails, and so we can mark every single one of them. So then we'll just do a fire watch around our southern city if we are. We're going to be on the western side, the western half of Tucson, starting with. We'll do a fire watch every night. We just want to know every single way they're coming in, and then to have a presence there so they can't do it no more. And we'll make them go back through the TO where they're coming out of and make them go back up through the reservation. But pretty soon we're going to have a wall going across that too, just so you know. And we think this is the best way to do it. We're going to starve off a lot of perverts from their perversion. No matter what it is, their demons are going to start starving. People are going to start panicking. People are going to start making mistakes, you know, big mistakes. So we're asking any good people we got in our government to do your damn job. You got kids too, you know. Don't listen to what you're seeing or what report you're reading or what anyone's saying. Come down and see for yourself. We haven't said you can't come down. We trespassed your ass from CMEX because you didn't come out for 5 days when we wanted you to pull that bunker out, not bulldoze it. We wanted you to pull the bunker out. But no one could go and do that. They said, well, you couldn't prove what it was. God forbid you did your job and proved that it was what it was, which we all know what it was. But because you didn't do it, you know what? Hey, the Lord has an answer for that. You failed to do your duty, so we'll do it ourselves. And, you know, we're not going to listen to the left or the right. We're going to listen to God and the people who want to do it right. That's it. Simple as that, you know. Hawaii. There's bodies all over the desert, and anyone will come down and tell you, and that's a sad fact, guys. That's what people don't understand. Come down and talk to these neighbors. Come down and tell you. I mean, to them, it's just, you know, I mean, it happens all the time. You know, the media has everyone distracted about who's tweeting what, who's wearing what costume, who's dating who, what scandal it is. But do you know that in a lot of these states that you can molest a child and you just get sentenced to maybe 2 years in prison, but you get caught with dope or something like that, or assault somebody and you get 15, maybe 20? Time. It froze at a good time because I was getting ready to go on a tirade. But look, the system itself it has no justice, and that's the sad part. No. We want to get every woman and child that's being enslaved, that's being crossed through this border, and we believe the government when they tell us it's happening. We also see that they're not doing nothing, so I guess they approve of it. You know, and the thing is you don't need a wall in the sense that everybody's thinking you need a wall, you know. You need bodies, you need people. You know, there are people that do come, and they're leaving horrible places. I could imagine being down in Mexico where all the cartels run it. There we go. But I could imagine being in Mexico, my wife and child, or one of those other countries in Central America, and it's like, you know, you're looking, you're like, hey, man, I'd be fleeing my ass up to America too. We were blessed. We're blessed as a nation, and it's sad that we take our blessings and we kind of hoard them from ourselves, and it's all about how much wealth we can accumulate. You know, in America, you know, in our nation, we have our politicians and our quote-unquote leaders. They're supposed to be servants, but they act as if they're masters. They go and police the world when they can't even control our own backyard. And they leave the people out here, you know, and they allow the children to be trafficked. And, you know, it's like they'll provide resources to go and cite and impose regulation on every American and tax every single thing they can. But they don't have the resources to go out and put a stop. You realize that we've probably done more damage to the cartels within the past 2 weeks than Border Patrol's done, spending millions of dollars? Because now they have to divert all their traffic and replant all their routes, and they just, you know, well, that's change, and that didn't take $10 million, you know, it didn't take that at all. It took people who was willing to take a stand and go and fight back and say, you know what, these are kids. At the end of the day, that camp triggered a lot of people, me one of them. And I prayed to God, and I said, use me as your hands and feet to wipe these sons of bitches out. Do it. That's my purpose, because homeless veterans are good. Veteran suicide prevention program's good. If my third purpose is to go out there and make sure that this sick shit's going to stop, and it's not happening in our city, it's not happening in our state, you know, and that's it. I'm not going to tell you how to do your own backyard. We're going to do our best as Arizonans out here to do our own backyard. That's it, you know. But we appreciate all your support. And once our backyard's secured, hell, I'll come volunteer in your state if you're going to secure your backyard. Just let me get my backyard secured first. And if you want to come out and learn, but understand that it's going to be different in each state. It's different environment. That's why our method is so adaptable. because each different corridor that you go to is different. There's different levels of threats, you know. It's just the neighbors. Sometimes you're in a more friendly area. Sometimes you're in a total hostile area. You'd be amazed at how many people are in bed with this cartel. How many lights are going across that valley when those spotters are pointing down with their lasers. You'd be amazed. You're looking at that and you're like, that is a lot of people. That is a lot. And this problem has been going on, and all they want to do is talk about it, raise more taxes to fix it, which doesn't fix it. And all this meanwhile, you've got women and children that are drugged across this desert. When I'm finding little baby, I don't care if they're Mexican shoes. I don't care what country you're from as a kid. It's a little tiny kid, and I'm finding shoe sizes for 4- and 5-year-olds, 2-year-olds, little Mexican shoes with the soles worn, and they like 60 miles north of the border. What the hell? That is something wrong with that. You know, and you have these kids that are just being dumped across, and then the solution's always, it's like, you know, there is no solution, because everyone's going to argue. If you try to do something just like what we're doing, you're going to have naysayers. So I'm looking at results, and the results I see what we're doing, I think at the end of this, I trust my God. I know that He's not setting us up to fail. If He didn't want us to be doing this, He wouldn't be providing us everything we need. He wouldn't be protecting us. He wouldn't be making sure there's no fear in our heart. He wouldn't even be showing us everything He's showing us. I had to pray last night because I was getting so discouraged, and I told God, I was like, I'm not going to stay out here 40 days, 40 nights. You better get me back on track. Where am I at? Where do we need to go? You know, and I'm just getting frustrated. So I'm His redheaded stepchild. He knows I'm rebellious as hell, but He knows in my heart. He knows my heart, and He loves me, you know, and I know that. I know that He knows I love Him, so that's all that matters. But I told Him, and I needed something, and then today it was just like miracle after miracle. You know, and what we thought was going to be His first answer didn't turn out to be. What it was even a more blessing when we got to meet another ally today, a very powerful ally who, you know, has children of her own and a husband who's a veteran. We won't say much more than that, but, you know, they're blessed. They're a blessing to us. Very powerful meeting. And those things, when the volunteers come and they get to see that and be partake in that, it doesn't matter what people are saying out there who haven't come down here. And because you're going to have 12 to 1 maybe volunteers, you're going to have people who's been thrown off. You're going to have people who came with an agenda. They're going to go out and lie, and they're going to try to say this. But look, I'm not trying to protect myself from those assholes, because we're going to operate whether they want us to or not. I'm not trying to protect myself from the government. You can come in and try what you want, because if someone does something illegal, we're going to get your ass off the team. There's ways we can do this job that's actually within bounds, and humanitarian and good Samaritan law will protect us to get into areas as long as we have proof and we document every cut in the fence, every jug. If it ain't posted, we're following them, because that's where the humans and dopes being smuggled somewhere, those trails all meet together. We want to mark every single one. You know, we talked with the 78-year-old neighbor who's walking down the road before we were heading up to do searches this morning. We just got out to talk to him. We pulled over to get out and pray. It was weird because I just had Frank pull over before we got up to the spot, and I wanted to get with the Aussie teens, and we were just getting out to pray real quick. And this old guy was just walking up the road. He's been living out here. He's 78 years old. He knows everything. You know, and he was like, you know, he said since Trump's been in office over in that area where he was, he's like, the numbers of people crossing through has really gone down. He's like, they've seen an improvement. And that was his assessment. And he didn't even know who we were. And then we were just kind of talking, and he had a problem where they had broken in the back. And I gave him a card, and I said, we'll come by. I got a bunch of no post-it signs, and we got baling wire. We're going to go ahead and fix your fences for you. And then he looked at the car and he goes, oh, hey. He's like, I know about you guys. You guys found that camp or what. And he's like, he goes, and this isn't political either. I'm just repeating what he says. He goes, you know, every Democrat I talk to who tries to say that camp wasn't real, I tell them they really don't know how the government works. And I walk away, you know. He's just, you know, even him, you know, and he didn't, it's just like God's awoken so many people. You know, and it's not just the left that's trying to say it isn't. It's the far right. You see them sitting down there. You know, they don't like this either. Neither party likes this because neither party can control the narrative. The media hates it because we won't come out and talk to him, let him fly us out. And I'm not going to go sit with Alex Jones. He's a fear monger. For crying out loud, he makes millions of dollars pumping people full of fear, and he isn't preparing anybody or giving them any knowledge that's going to help them prepare. He's just reiterating what everyone else would say were conspiracy theories, and it's like, you know, why do I want to sit down and talk with that guy? You know, so what they do is they end up retaliating, and they end up using anybody they can to discredit you. Well, that's how you know we're winning. And we ride these storms out. We don't care. We put faith in God. We will walk through that. We are the storm at the end of the day. They don't even realize what's happening. All this time they're doing this, we're hitting area after area. We're talking to neighbors. We walk into stores, there are people that just come up and thank us. You're good. There's people, we're going to kill a light for a minute. There's people that come up and thank us. There, you get like that. Oh my God. But now you can't see me. But there are people who come up and thank us, and they tell us they appreciate what we're doing. They support us, you know. And so far, you know, you just got a few knuckleheads out here running around. They don't want us here. Well, if you don't want us out making sure children can't be trafficked through here, then you're part of the problem. And as far as we're concerned, it's private property. Our neighbors want us here, except for the bad ones. And you can't move God from your community if God decides he's going to sit in there. And, you know, at the end of the day, we honestly believe in our hearts God wants something to happen. So if this is it, so be it. But we're going to do it smart and right.
I'm seeing flashlights up the room. Up here, I thought it was something reflecting, but they've gone on and they've gone out.
Signals. Yeah, pull down about, go over there and pull down about.
Because I'm seeing
lights. Go down a quarter mile on that hill too. I'm more watching the mountains. So. Okay, do we have any questions? Let me go through here. Try and go through. There's so many of you commenting. Thank you for all the positive feedback. Really appreciate it.
And then, did y'all ever visit that abandoned-looking trailer that's over in this area?
No, that's private property. And they got it posted. Oh, yeah, whoever's saying about my testimony. That's why I tell everybody, you let them say. You know, even the lies, the people who believe these lies, that like, oh, I was a violent sex offender, none of that shit's true. They posted Photoshop stuff and exaggerated who I was and the person I was. And I wasn't a good person, but I can tell you, I've met some evil people, and I wasn't that evil. There's always good in me, and so I'm blessed. But the people who say that stuff, all they're doing is giving a testimony to my God. That's it. That's all they're doing. You're good. Keep going. Down the yellow sign. But that's it. All they're doing is showing that God can take anyone and turn them around. So let them. Let them say that. Who cares? Let them say that I'm trafficking. And we're going in and out. Let's see. No, that's what I'm telling you guys. When you see the media going nuts and you see people on both sides going nuts and everyone trying to stop something, that's how you know you're doing the right thing. But when you see the world respond and you see the blessings pull in and you see all this opposition from powerful people and they can't do shit, that's how you know God's got your back. And I'm going to tell you something. If God's got your back, you have no reason to fear anything. And if your heart's pure and your intentions are noble and you're doing the right thing, guess what? There ain't shit no one can do about it. And I told people, I've seen that. I've stood next to code enforcement who told me I would not be able to build a camp. And I told that guy, you can't stop God. And he shows me his cross and says, well, I'm a Christian too, I believe. And I was like, well, obviously you're going to believe when I'm done. And you know what? 3 years later, Bravo Base still stands on that property. You know, you cannot stop God if you're doing the right thing. There ain't no way. If his hands are on it, you just have full faith and I'm telling you. I see it. I feel it. It's there, guys. And it's beautiful. I'm blessed. And the thing is I don't say this, and there's people around me that don't believe in my God. They don't believe in my Lord and Savior. But I love them just the same. They love me just the same, and they're just as passionate about what their belief is, and I encourage them too. If their belief and their inspiration is what drives their passion, I don't try to change anything. My God, that's it. All we're supposed to do is walk. Walk like he did, you know. Walk like he did. He didn't just preach, he walked. He did acts. He healed people. He went from place to place. He didn't take care of the politicians. He took care of the poor. He didn't take any type of payment for what he did. He did what was right. So you know what? Just walk like him and have faith in the Father, and there ain't shit no one can do about it. And that's why I believe in Christianity, because when I put it into practice, it works. And I see people who would normally be able to stop what I was doing, but they can't do nothing because God's got them paralyzed in fear. And that's powerful right there. And that's how much faith I got in my God. So.
Did you hear the coyotes?
Yeah, YouTube's down, guys. We're not using YouTube anymore. YouTube was able to drive off a whole lot of the trolls who followed us over. That way they were able to automatically delete and ban on the alpha page. So there are certain things we're doing, but we're going to be doing the live videos one way or another. If this platform goes down, we'll do another one and have it shared. I mean, doesn't matter.
We have lights that stop behind us.
Okay.
Kill them with kindness.
Let's see.
You know, you talk really loud.
See, I do, but for those of you who think I'm yelling, I don't. I can't hear very good.
This is just how he talks.
Yeah. That's right. That's what Christ did. He went in that temple and he overturned that was just him the greed, I guess. If you look at that, that's what I call righteous anger. I know what evil anger is. I used to have it in me. But when you have your light stolen as a child, you know, the only thing that saved me was God gave me a child. That's how I got my light back. There's nothing magical about Louis Arthur. He had his light stolen when he was a child. He was he was violent, angry, manipulative, you know, fuck you. That's the type of guy I was. And I would fucking smash you. You can talk to a warden at the last prison I was in. I spent 2.5 years in solitary confinement because they couldn't put me anywhere. Because I literally would just fucking smash the shit out of you. And those are all prison records. That's not someone talking. That's how evil I was. I mean, I was so angry, so full of hatred. But when I had a little girl and I held my daughter, all that light that was stolen came back. And it was so much. It was so beautiful. And everything that I used to do for evil, I was able to do for good. And I was able just to manipulate through this evil fucking perversion. We have corrupt government, local politicians, everything is just so bad. But you know what? We can circumvent around all that because the Lord brought me from that shit. So I'm equipped and I know what type of enemy I'm dealing with and I know how powerful my God is. So, you know, that's the only thing that and then when you see something threaten that light that you have that brought you from the darkness, my little girl, and I don't care. That could have been my little girl tied on a tree. It could have been any one of y'all's in here. Doesn't matter what country you are in. They transport these children from around the world, sell them off, trade them. When they're useless no more, they murder them for crying out loud. It could have been any one of our kids. That triggered the shit out of me. Just the thought of her being tied to a tree or stuffed in that hole. And that's what that camp was used for. Simple. And if you're not a survivor of that, and I didn't have one survivor actually go through there and come out and say that's not what it was for. That they know. You know, and if you haven't gone through some shit, you don't feel it, you don't sense it, you don't know those demons. Well, I know what they smell like and look like. I know how they steal life from the children. You know what? We're going to go track those sons of bitches down and get them the hell out of our state.
Louis, the car that was hanging out behind us for a quick minute made a turn back there.
Yeah, they turn around going back.
No, they didn't turn around.
Well, they're turning around facing the other way. They're fine. See. Yeah, it's dark, guys. We're sitting off on the side of the road, looking for lights on the mountain, and flashlights moving through. Just marking positions. That's it. In Michigan, they just found 51 to 76 missing. We've been getting a lot of reports of there's been like a good ripple effect. That's why I'm glad it happened in some sense, because it's being exposed. At least there's light being shown on it, you know. And people are awake, you know. We're blessed. People are they're taking action, and it's the right people taking action. And you don't have people mobilizing around a hatred of something other than a hatred of any evil that would harm a child. You know, that's a noble hatred as far as I'm concerned, you know. But, you know, it's for the love of our children. It's so they're protected. It's so they can inherit something better than us, because our parents and our parents before us and their parents before them, you know, if you just go back, each generation is half we're like half of the generation before us, for crying out loud. And we're not evolving, we're de-evolving, and we're separating and we're dividing. And if there's one thing that can unite this entire world, it's a child, you know, and you don't steal a child's innocence, you know, and from there, you know, you tackle every problem on down, you know, but have a starting point. We had hoped there would be veteran suicides in our country, that people would just stop arguing politics and just, you know, put a stop to the veteran suicide epidemic. Take care of these families. Give these guys proper medical care. Give them what they need. Stop separating from them from family courts. Oh, my God, family courts, man. You want to talk about injustice, you should see what the family courts do to soldiers, how they'll use their TBI and PTSD and their own service against them to take their kids. It's ridiculous. I mean, when you see injustice like that happening continuously, you know, to me it's like, man, when you're on the side delivering injustice, I don't know, but when you've been the bully and you see people around you getting bullied by bullies, you know, I don't know why so many more people aren't just standing up, you know. But I think God has a plan, and, you know, maybe small doses. But I have no doubt people are going to see veterans pulling children out of these deserts. I have no doubt whatsoever. I claim it in the name of the Lord. There ain't nothing you can do about it, because it's going to happen. There's trafficking happening continuously. But see, we're going to do it smart. We're going to do it safe. We're going to let these guys run their ops. We're going to let these guys make the decisions on the ground. They're trained. They know what the hell they're doing. We're not going to have people micromanaging them. The very thing they couldn't do in the deserts overseas, they get to do in the deserts of our backyard, securing this border and taking care of these women and kids and stopping this sex slave trafficking. You know, first and foremost. So yeah, you're damn right we're going to give them the power to make those own decisions. You're not going to see them coming back all wounded, missing limbs and everything like that, because they're going to be able to make their own decisions. They're the boots on the ground. They're the ones putting their neck on the line. You know, we equip them, we let them lead. And I tell you, I've seen veterans just go and do amazing things if you just give them a purpose and you put a battle buddy next to them. You give them supplies, what they need, and you set them loose. They'll solve your problems. If you got a threat, they'll take care of the threat. You need protection, they'll protect you. If you need compassion, they'll show you compassion. There's, you know, and they get to show more compassion out here. That's what I love about it, you know. They get to help their own neighbors. They get to help the old Vietnam vets that have just been out here for so many years in these deserts. You know 60, 70-year-old men. They don't complain one bit about 110-degree heat out here. Been living out here for decades in this stuff. That, to me, that's a hero. That's a tough man right there. That's a free American. Some people don't want to become housed, and they deserve a right not to. That's why we designed our camp the way it was, so we could just Give them an alternative. Hell, don't force them into some shelter where they can't take their dog, or you got check in, check out, and all this. We try to make it as free as possible. So, here, we're lights up. We're good, clear right now.
Got more lights.
All right, leave red on then. I see.
My night vision.
I know. No, look that way. Yeah, but it was crazy, the light show that they had last night. And what the team did was they actually were able to get around. That's why you let these guys figure it out, because it's just how they did it was just awesome. They got around to the blind side of a hill. They went all right. Well, I'll just tell you, if you